Hi everybody, welcome back to the Pixar Cars Thomas and Friends fan channel. Today, we're going to do something that somebody requested us. We're going to make Thomas from Play-Doh. I'm not sure if I did this before or not, but I had requested by a fan, so we're going to do it again. So here we are at the Solar Steamworks. Sir Topham Hatt is there and the mechanic, and Percy is getting his wheels lubed. Doing a great job. And other trains showed up to watch as well. There's Oliver. And we have Lady right there. And I want to show you something back here. We have Electric Thomas. Watch what happens when I turn Electric Thomas on. You ready? There he goes. Stop! And we also have this other electric car. I don't know his name. Anybody know who that is? And watch this here. I'm going to put him on the track and push the start button. Where is he? Way back here, watch. What will happen if I turn on Thomas and the other electric car at the same time? Let's see what happens. Here we go. Collision. Who's the strongest one? They're both about the same. Look at them spinning. They're pretty strong, these guys. Okay, enough messing around. Let's get on with making Thomas out of Play-Doh. Here we go. Let's get back on track. So the mechanic and Sir Topham Hatt show up to watch. And we have original Thomas here. You know he's original because look at the bottom. All it says is Thomas. Nothing else. And he's a big smile on his face. And he's blue and black and some red stripes and number 1 on the side. Now I happen to have lots of blue Play-Doh, some black for the base, some red for the stripes, and inside this white jar I mixed up some gray last week, look, and I saved it, so I have some gray for his face. Okay, so let's start off by building the base out of black Play-Doh. So we start with a nice sized ball of black and we flatten it out using a piece of track, which I always use, to shape it in the shape of that base. And then I'm going to add 3 axles, because Thomas has 6 wheels, and they're just toothpicks cut off to fit. And I'll make some wheels out of some blue Play-Doh and some hubcaps out of blue Play-Doh. First of all, let's get this here piece of black Play-Doh worked into a rectangle. Okay, that looks about right for the rectangle. Now I can cut that to the exact same length and we'll put our magnets on the ends. There, that's about perfect. Now what I use for magnets is a small bit of black with some white pressed on the front. I'll show you. So we take the small bits of black and a white ball and push it on the top, and it looks just like a magnet. When you're done, and you press that against each end of the base, and we'll have what looks like magnets. Just like that. Now what I do now is I put the axles in and put the wheels on. So I'm going to get some blue Play-Doh and make 6 balls of blue Play-Doh and 6 little hubcaps. And we'll add that right now to the base. Oh, and by the way, look who showed up to watch today. Look at the top of my solar workstation. There's Bert, Big Bird, Kermit, Ernie, and the Cookie Monster. They're all watching today. Thanks for showing up, fellas. Let's get that blue Play-Doh out and make the wheels. First, I'll put the axles on. And I just push the 3 pieces of toothpicks through the base, the same place the wheels are, so the wheels can fit on that. Okay, let's get the blue out. And there's our 6 wheels and hubcaps. Now I'm just going to take a ball. Oh, that's too much. I have to reduce that. It's too big. Look how big it is. Way too big. Make smaller wheels. Okay, let's try that again. Take the round ball of Play-Doh, press it down, put the hubcap on top, and install that on the side of the wheel. Press it on, just like that. I do that for all 6. And there we have the base for Play-Doh Thomas. That came pretty good. Now I'm going to put that aside and work on the top part now. And the top is mostly blue, with the black where the smokestack is and a little black on top. So I'm going to work with a big piece of blue first to get this big, long, flat piece, which I call the new base, goes on top of this here. Okay, let's get some blue out. And I can roll that flat with my Play-Doh roller to the right thickness, and then I can cut it the exact same dimensions. And I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to start building the rest of the train on top of this base. And that looks a bit too thick, so I'll have to work that down some more with my roller to get it down to the right thickness. That looks better. Now I can trim it. There, that looks perfect. Now I can put this part on. get some more blue, and shape it into a long rectangle. Once again, I can use my Play-Doh my Thomas track, and press it nice and flat until it gets just the right shape, and then I can trim it. Okay, that's the right shape. Now I'm going to notch out the back right here with my cutter and round off the front and notch it out for the boiler. Okay, those notches came good. Now I have to add on this round spot right here, just like that. Now we can add that part directly to the base, and we can work on installing the black part. So take some black and I make a ball out of it, and I shape it like a cylinder, the same shape as that part, and I can cut it. And that's a perfect fit, first time. Now I can get the gray from here. I'm going to make Thomas's face, and that's always a hard part. I'm going to take a piece of the gray, roll it flat, and cut it using my Play-Doh cutter to make his face. We'll work on it on the plate. See, and there's my gray, rolled pretty flat. Now this cutter has a nice hole in the end. It makes perfect size for the face. And since it's really hard to work on the face on the body, I'm going to install the eyes and nose and mouth while it's laying on the ceramic tile. Okay, I have Thomas's face finished. Now I'm going to try and install it without damage. There, that looks pretty good. Now I can install that part onto the base to make it look a little bit better. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put some black on top here and behind there. Okay, see how that looks? Get some black out. I'll roll it flat and cut it to fit on top. Here's some black. We'll roll that nice and flat. Okay, and there's the black. Now I'm going to get some red stripes out for the boiler. I think I'll put on the boiler cover and the smokestack. The smokestack is black, it goes right here, and the boiler cover is blue, it goes right there. Just like that. Now I'll get the red out to make some thin stripes for the boiler. I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to roll that really flat and cut it in thin strips. Rather than making little snakes and lay them over the top, I'm going to cut it in thin strips and lay them on top. So there's a very thin strip of red Play-Doh. See? I can cut that in tiny pieces and put it on the Thomas's boiler. Yeah, that came pretty good. Now I'm going to put a red stripe along the whole side. There's a big long stripe on the side. Let's put that on next. Okay, that came pretty good. Now we have to put some windows in the back. There's some black windows right there. Okay, and that came really good. Now what we're missing right now is number 1. I'm going to have to make a number 1 out of yellow to put on the side. I'm not going to put the small stripes on, they're just too tiny. Let's go make a number 1 out of yellow. Where's my yellow? There it is. Let's get a smaller bit of yellow and roll it flat and cut out the number 1. All we need right there. And we'll roll that nice and flat and cut it with our little cutter to make the number 1. There we go. A big number 1 in Play-Doh. Let's put the two of them side by side and see how they look. Okay, and there's the real Thomas. And here's the Play-Doh Thomas. What do you think, guys? How's that look to Topham Hatt? So Topham Hatt and the mechanic came out to inspect Play-Doh Thomas, and they both agreed it was a great job. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our video of making Thomas from Play-Doh. Like I said, I think this is the second time we did Thomas. And thanks to these guys from Sesame Street for showing up. And I hope you watch the rest of our videos. There's a whole bunch in there on Play-Doh creations from Thomas or from Cars. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.